All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're going to peel back the layers on Bitcoin, and I mean really get into it, way beyond the crazy headlines. We're going to try and understand what makes it a whole different beast from everything else people call crypto. This isn't just about a new kind of digital cash. It's about a whole new way of thinking about value itself. And to do that, you kind of have to unlearn what you think you already know.
This quote, this just nails it. It's the journey so many people go on. You start off thinking, okay, Bitcoin is like another tech stock or digital gold, one of many. But the deeper you dig, the more you realize that the word crypto just doesn't quite fit. Bitcoin isn't just another chip on the table in the crypto casino, it's playing a completely different game, on a completely different level.
Okay, so first things first. To really wrap our heads around this, we have to draw a line in the sand, a really bright one. On one side, you've got Bitcoin, and on the other, you have the thousands, and I mean thousands, of other digital things that all get lumped together under that one big crypto umbrella. They are not the same thing, not even close.
And this, right here, is the great divide. You see, most other cryptos work a lot like tech companies. They have founders, CEOs, foundations. They can change the rules, they can alter the supply. Their goal is to build cool new apps. But Bitcoin, it's different. There's no leader. The supply is locked in forever. It acts more like a force of nature, or a digital commodity like gold. Its goal isn't to be a company. Its goal is just to be perfect, unchanging money.
Now, you've probably heard the big one, right? The Bitcoin mining wastes a ton of energy. But look, that's kind of missing the whole point. Bitcoin runs on something called proof of work, and the best way to think about it is this. It literally turns raw energy into digital security. All that energy creates an economic wall so high and so thick that it becomes almost impossible to attack the network. That energy isn't waste, it's the very armor that makes Bitcoin unchangeable and trustworthy. It's the core feature.
So yeah, the network is like a fortress today. But what about tomorrow? I mean, what happens when a totally new kind of technology comes along? Something that could just shatter every digital lock we have. Let's talk about the ultimate stress test, the rise of quantum computers.
13 million. That's the number. The theoretical number of quantum bits, or qubits, a machine would need to crack Bitcoin's security. Right now, the best we've got is a few hundred, maybe. But this tech is moving fast, like exponentially fast. And here's the kicker. This isn't some distant sci-fi threat. Right now, about a quarter of all the Bitcoin in existence is sitting in older types of wallets that are actually vulnerable to this kind of attack.
So this leads to a pretty scary question, right? If this new kind of supercomputer is just over the horizon, a technology that can break the very math that protects our entire digital lives, is Bitcoin just living on borrowed time? Is this whole experiment destined to just fall apart?
It's a terrifying thought for sure, but here's the fascinating part. For the developers working on Bitcoin, this isn't some unforeseen crisis they're scrambling to fix. It's a planned upgrade, and the solution is already well underway.
See, the global developer community has been planning for this for years. It's a careful, four-stage migration to brand new quantum-proof cryptography. It starts simple, encouraging everyone to move to newer, safer addresses. Then it methodically secures the older funds, with recovery plans so no one loses anything. The final step is a full network migration, planned for around 2030. The key here isn't panic. It's a proactive, deliberate evolution to future-proof the entire system.
But look, making the network quantum-resistant isn't just a defensive move. It's about laying the foundation for what could come next. Because once it's done, Bitcoin becomes the most secure, most trustworthy, most neutral piece of digital real estate on the planet. And why does that matter? Well, think about the next big thing, artificial general intelligence, or AGI. An AGI controlled by one company or one country? That's a scary amount of power. Bitcoin offers a different path, a neutral ground where an AGI could operate with transparent rules on a platform nobody owns and nobody can shut down. This is the long game.
I know, that sounds incredibly futuristic. So let's hit the rewind button. Let's zoom way out and look at the past for a minute, just to understand why any of this is even necessary. I mean, why do we need a new kind of money at all? Well, the answer is a pattern, a cycle that has repeated itself over and over again throughout history.
It's the fiat currency death cycle. It almost always starts with good money, backed by something real and scarce, like the Roman denarius, which was nearly pure silver. But then, inevitably, governments need to spend more, so they break the promise. They untie the money from the real thing and just start printing. This always leads to inflation, where your savings buy less and less every single year. Eventually, people lose all faith. The currency collapses, and the whole system has to be rebooted. From ancient Rome to Weimar Germany to today, it's the same old story.
Over 700. That's how many government-issued currencies have completely failed and gone to zero. This isn't some rare black swan event. It's the historical norm. The political temptation to just print more money to fix today's problems is almost impossible to resist over the long haul. History shows us this isn't a bug in the system. It is the system.
So how does Bitcoin slam the brakes on this cycle? Well, its very nature is designed to be different. First, a fixed supply, only 21 million, ever. That's written in the code and nobody can change it. It's decentralized, so there's no central bank that can just decide to print trillions more. The entire ledger is transparent, anyone can check it, and it's global, available to anyone, anywhere, with no regard for political borders. It brings back the rules and the discipline we lost a long, long time ago.
Okay, so you can see what's happening. We've got these two massive forces on a collision course. On one hand, the historical, predictable failure of our money, and on the other, this wild new technological promise of a decentralized future. And that combination, it puts us at a huge fork in the road.
As the AI researcher Ben Goertzel points out, the default path for something as powerful as AGI is centralization. Big tech companies will use it to get richer. Governments will use it to get more powerful. And that leads to a future where the most incredible tool humanity has ever built is held in the hands of a tiny, unaccountable few.
But this is where that other path opens up. Because Bitcoin is neutral, open, and can't be controlled by any single group, it provides a foundation for AGI that no one can own. It makes it possible to have an AI whose incentives are aligned with everyone who uses the network, not just the shareholders of a single corporation. It's the difference between a closed system and an open one.
And that's really what it all boils down to. This is the choice that this technological revolution is forcing upon all of us. Are we going to let the most powerful tools in history be captured and centralized for the benefit of a few? Or are we going to build our future on a foundation that offers decentralized freedom for everyone? History has shown us time and time again where that first path leads. The only question left is, which future are we going to choose?